All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to begin this run here. So without further ado, we will go ahead and turn it around to my friend here, Vonnie.
All righty. Hello, everyone. Alrighty, so I am Vonnie Vaughn. I am about to be running a wonderful TurboGrafx 16 game here called Neutopia, and along with me I have legendary Nitsky1.
Hey everyone.
The effervescent Scala Kitty.
Hello.
And also Natara.
Wow, rude.
If I know I'm ready. Couch, you ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Two thumbs up. Way up.
Everyone back there, you guys ready? Everyone watching at home, I hope you're ready, because we're going to get started, and you're going to count me in, Nits.
I am.
Go for it. Let's do it.
In 5, 4, 3,
2, 1, go!
All righty. So here's your lore. The evil wizard Dearth beams himself down to Neutopia in the middle of the night, and he comes in here and he whisks away with Princess Aurora, against her will, of course. And this has caused us to summon our great hero. Everyone say hello to Jazeta.
Hi.
He is going to be trekking through Neutopia in an effort to rescue the princess, and the old mother is telling us here how to do it, and that's going to be by collecting the 8 medallions of wisdom from our forefathers of years past, and he will do so by going to every last corner of what this world has to offer.
I will say just very quickly, for anyone else at home who can read Japanese, you might be saying, wait, no, the hero's name is Frey, that's Princess Fran, and it's the evil wizard Raphael, but we like the English names better, so we're just going to use the English names.
Indeed.
Even though we're running in Japanese because it's faster.
Right.
So the first item we're picking up here is going to be the book. We need this specifically in order to gain the ability to save. Without this book to record our passwords for us, we have no chance to save. So really important pickup, and because we're doing the 100% run, an absolutely necessary pickup.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of extra pickups which may not be in the any percent run that we are going to pick up, and we will have to go a bit out of our way for it, so the routing is a little bit different. But the world records for these runs are only about 3 or 4 minutes apart, so it's not a huge difference overall. We just picked up some bombs and some medicine to cure our life, both of which are going to be very important.
So the way that the world of Neutopia works is that it's split up into 4 overworlds, which are referred to as spheres. They're done in order. Right now we're in the land sphere. Next we'll do the subterranean sphere, and then the sea sphere, excuse me. And then finally we'll finish up with the sky sphere. Now in each of the spheres there's going to be 2 crypts or dungeons where we will obtain those medallions that we needed to get.
So right here, though, we are picking up a new item, and that is going to be the Fire Wand, one of, if not the most important item in the game. And it has 3 different levels of power, and all of those depend on how many of these life containers you have. So we will be building it up, and since this is an RPG marathon, we thought we would kind of rename the levels appropriately as Fire, Fira, and Firaga, so nobody gets confused.
Shout outs to Final Fantasy.
Yep.
This is a pretty decent walking section. So if our host has some donations to read off, please feel free.
Absolutely. Starting off here with what I consider one of the most important ones, we have a $25 donation here from Vaughn_Vaughn's wife. And the message on there is, "We love you, Vaughn. Vaughn, good luck."
Oh, thank you very much. Shout outs to my family.
We also have a $100 donation here from Spirit on Fire with no message. Thank you for that.
So you may have noticed we kind of did a bit of a cheer in one of the previous walking screens. Some of the enemies in this game will always at least start off with the same walking pattern when we enter into a screen. And that particular screen, if you walk precisely, you can just dodge and weave right through all of the enemies, and it looks really slick, and Vonnie just pulled it off perfectly.
That was, hence the fist pump. I'm really glad that I did that properly for this run.
And just picking up a life increase there.
A couple more donations if you have them.
But if not, we could talk a little bit about how this route actually changes things from the vanilla run. So if you're playing a vanilla run of this game, you're going to be using the charmed compass that you have in your map to kind of help you figure out where all the crypts are. But when we do the speed run, we actually run each section in slightly different order. So we're actually heading to Crypt 2 first, just because it has some better items for us to pick up, and it's the fire one we pick up along the way there.
And that's going to actually be the case for all 4 of the spheres here. We're going to go to the second crypt in each of the spheres first. Because of the items we get in those spheres, or in those crypts, it does make the first crypt much faster and easier. Plus, in some circumstances, it gives us the ability to pick up items along the way. So you're already seeing the magic of the fire wand.
Yeah, the importance of the fire wand as an assault weapon cannot be overstated. You will see me use it extensively, especially, oh, come on. Oh, boy. Through the first parts of this run.
It's a really good, especially when you're learning the run, it's really just fabulous for keeping all enemies away and at a distance. You may not have picked up on it yet, but hitboxes in this game are incredibly precise. If you see an enemy having a pixel, it is part of its hitbox. So if you get hit by it, you will take damage. But on the other hand, if you hit it, they will take damage. But it means you can't hit empty space and damage them, and often you can't just walk past them without taking damage. So it takes a bit of getting used to if you're used to some other games with hitboxes. So in every crypt that we're going to be doing, we have to get a key so we can actually reach the boss at the end. And in order to progress, we got both an hourglass and a cherry in this room. Cherry refills your life, and the hourglass gives approximately 20 seconds of frozen time. So if you happen to pick up one and you have enemies invisible on the screen that you needed to defeat, you just sit and wait. You are not soft locked, thankfully.
Yeah. Also, you can still take damage while the enemies are frozen, so that doesn't mean that you can't just waltz right up to them, you know, recklessly and attack them. You still have to be careful not to touch them.
But do we play any other way than recklessly?
We're speedrunners. That's not in our blood.
Ooh, thank you very much.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, bonus. Why not? Alrighty.
So we're very excited to get those rings early. We're going to be using them later on in the run. What rings do is they will cause any higher level enemies on the screen to be replaced with lower level, easier enemies. So it's going to be very important later on.
Yeah, there's a particular crypt where there's 2 rooms that are just really nasty, and we need to, ooh, I need that too. And we need to make them
Less nasty.
less murderous.
Absolutely. That sword we just picked up is our first sword upgrade. It is the bronze sword. You can tell because it's blue.
It has a beautiful patina on it.
Yeah, exactly. So there are, for every weapon, like sword, shield, and armor, there are exactly 3 versions we can pick up. And because this is the 100%, we will be picking up all of them. All very equally as identifiable, as you will soon witness. So bombing in this game, it is precise in that you need to make sure to have it very close to the area where you're bombing. However, on the other side, you do not take damage from the bombs. And you may also see another block there, which is a different color. Those are traps. If you walk too close to them, you will see blades come out. So we're going to get the first boss here.
Ooh. Am I gonna get it? Yeah.
Nice. Very excellent fight.
Oh, man. Oh, I started just a hair late on the second cycle. I mean, if I would have missed it, I would have gone to a third cycle, which cost me, I don't know, 6 or 7 seconds. I had full life. There was really no danger there, but still want to do it in 2 cycles if you can. That's the quickest you can.
Absolutely. And it's nice to know that the pieces that fly off of the armor you can actually hit, and that's what you do in the first round of that boss fight.
Which is why I entered that room on the right-hand tile, so I could just walk straight up and just stab as soon as I was in range, and if your timing is right, you hit it every time. There's a decent amount of walking here as well, so if any more donations have come in, please feel free to read those off.
Absolutely. In fact, we've got a $2,000 donation here.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's awesome.
We have a $2,000 donation from Random Hughes
Oh my goodness.
with a very simple message that says, "Go Vonnie."
Yeah. Shout outs to Random Hughes. Thank you so much.
That is fantastic.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So in case you couldn't tell, I need to go right on this screen. So now we're going into crypt number 1, quote unquote. Again, doing these out of order is very important because of the items both on the way to and in the crypts that you want to get. Natara, any comments on these enemies I'm seeing here?
See, I like to really name a lot of the enemies. Some of them look very familiar to other games, and I like to affectionately call those the Ultros slimes. So they're little just Ultros heads bouncing around. You will try and share some of the names we have for some of these other enemies. Some will look familiar to you, and some will be just brand new.
So for those of you that are familiar with a streamer named LackAttack24, he runs The Legend of Zelda, and he has a particular room in, I think it's dungeon number 6, that he refers to as the Belfry because it has a bunch of bats in it. This is Neutopia's version of the Belfry, is these 2 screens here. And the reason why it's noteworthy to me is because you can gain or lose a lot of time in those rooms depending on the flight patterns you get from those bats, which are not fixed, unlike some other enemies.
Yeah. It is also really important because it is one of the very few similarities between this game and The Legend of Zelda.
So there's only cursory similarities between these 2 games.
Did you actually know that Legend of Zelda took inspiration from Neutopia?
Oh, absolutely. So many games have taken inspiration from Neutopia, and we're going to be covering a whole bunch of them over the course of the run.
Make sure to share those with you.
I'm going to take that.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier with the Fire Wand, it does, its strength depends on how much health you currently have, and so even if you don't have enough health to bring it up to the next level, just each of those health containers does increase the strength. So we want to keep as high health as possible just to keep doing lots of damage.
Also, previously you saw Vonnie pick up the bronze armor. Again, you can tell because of its beautiful blue color.
Yeah. And these are the lovely swagger moose.
They have so much swag in them.
So much swagger.
Alrighty. So for those of you that watched the Dragon Warrior run earlier, here's another return of the Dragon Lord.
Still very angry.
Still very angry.
But it goes down nice and easy.
17 hits and it's down.
Just can't handle that. Well, who can? Like, Jazeta's just too powerful.
Alright, so now that we have both of the medallions in that sphere, we are now done with it, and you are going to see a staircase open here, and we will enter the subterranean sphere. Now, when we get into each progressive sphere, not only the enemies in the overworlds, but also in the crypts along with them, we're going to see new sets of enemies. They might behave similarly, but there are definitely going to be some new ones that we will see, like these goofy little blue demon things that like to throw rocks at you.
Which we affectionately... They look very much like the Yeti. Any comment from...
Oh, goodness. Please don't touch me. Thank you.
They're like the Yeti's like summer cut, you know.
Exactly.
Cousins that live down south.
Yeah, they're just ready to swim in some lava.
Oh, absolutely. Who isn't?
Yeah. So one thing the fire wand can do is burn down rocks.
Yeah.
Very useful, I think.
Does
One
the fire
thing-
always burn down rocks?
Yeah, I thought so.
Another thing you might have noticed is that the fire that came out of my wand looked rather different. That's because I now have at least 8 segments of full life. Once that is the case, you're going to get kind of these like rolling... Well, you were going to get these rolling fire columns, but now that I have taken damage, it's going to go back to kind of those orbs that I was shooting out.
And previously you saw Vonnie pick up the moonbeam moss. What it is, it lights up any dark rooms we might encounter. It has a really nice effect that it lights up multiple dark rooms at once. But Vonnie here, he knows these dark rooms very well, so it might be pretty rare when we actually do see the moonbeam moss come into play.
I'm typically only going to use it in rooms where I would need to push certain blocks just to make sure that I don't fumble it and have to reset the room, which can be a pretty considerable waste of time.
Absolutely. And usually items that we pick up do not stack in this game. You pick up one iteration and that's it. Potions are one of the few exceptions. If you pick up 2 of those green medicines, they combine to make a purple medicine, which you can use twice. So it's just like holding 2. Also, please enjoy the lava. Very seasonal.
And the foblins.
Yeah, and the foblins. So I had moblins in the land sphere.
All right, everybody, go left.
Thanks, team.
That's another fixed movement pattern. I didn't just like call that or anything.
I'm not sure I believe you.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so it's really dark here, and okay, I can see well enough.
Into the darkness.
Scott, would you like to comment on the
Yes.
item we're picking up here?
We're picking up the Rainbow Drop, which is one of the most useful items in the game. It allows us to create teeny tiny little rainbow bridges that we'll use to traverse one space-wide gaps over any type of water or lava. And it's actually, to me, one of the nicest little items in the game because it beautifully shows off the TurboGrafx 16's graphics. Because it has this wonderful
Nice.
rolling rainbow that we get to see every time we walk across a space.
In fact, we are going to put it to use in the very first room of this crypt that we're about to enter right now.
And did you know that Dragon Warrior also took inspiration from Neutopia?
Oh, yeah. I've never seen
See, there it is
another-
right there, that lovely rainbow bridge.
It's so good.
Alrighty, so again, here the introduction of dark rooms. Again, I know the layout of pretty much all of them by heart, so when you will see me use the Moonbeam Moss will be few and far between.
But it is really good when you're learning the run, though.
Oh,
Because,
sure.
like I said, it will light up multiple rooms at the same time, so you don't have to use it as much as you think you do.
Alrighty. So this is going to be the first real deviation from the any percent route, what we're doing down here. We're about to collect an armor upgrade that the any percent world record does not collect. Oh, how am I doing?
RNG manipulation.
Shout out to Last Enemy Hourglass. That's probably not the last time you'll see that. All right, let's see if I can get this. Nope. All right, that's all right.
Yeah, those fireball throwers in this game are just incredibly aggressive.
Alrighty.
So we picked up the silver armor, which, again, you can tell by its wonderful color.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So the reason why we skipped this in any percent is that was a detour of about a minute or so, and we're going to be getting another armor upgrade in the not too distant future, so we would just skip that to save time. Oh, thank you. I'm really glad to see that.
Yeah, the health drops are pretty paltry. You don't get many of them in these runs.
And so the key thing that you want to avoid is having your health drop. Oh, nice. Having your health drop below 4 segments, because if you do, that weakens your fire rod even further, and we don't like that. Ooh, that was really not cool. The hurt box on this sword is still a mystery to me sometimes.
yeah.
Alrighty, so these are some of my least favorite enemies in the game here, the Ghost Cloths, because they will disappear when they feel like it and you cannot damage them. And they also like to just hide in corners and be uncooperative. But now we're through that, which is good. Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
Also, you're going to see Vonnie picking up a whole bunch of coins from the enemies. We actually never have to use money in this route. You can use it in the vanilla game if you need to buy extra bombs or medicine, but we're just going to kind of pick things up as we go.
There's the key for this dungeon, so we are ready to go to the boss of Crypt 4.
And there's really nothing else going on between here and the boss, so if you'd like to read off a donation or two, please go ahead.
I actually have 3 for you.
Nice.
You are a popular guy, Vonnie. I have Casual Geek Dave with a $5 donation.
What's up, Dave?
And the message here says, had to tune in to see my brother Vonnie get a casual world record. 3 of my favorite people on the couch with Natara and, is it pronounced Shala?
Scala.
Scala, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And Nitzy. Thank you for your donation.
Yeah. You can go ahead with another one if you like.
Yeah, I have a $100 donation here for Bill and Jerry. And
oh, nice.
the message on here says, Vonnie, you know who Bill and Jerry are.
All right, hold on. I need serious time here real quick.
Serious time, guys. And that's that.
Beautifully done.
Very
So
nice.
first things first, shout out to my boy Stunlock Earwig there, which is the boss that we just beat. The way that that works is that only its tail segment takes damage, but all of its segments take hit stun. So you just keep bouncing it against the wall, and you can just keep it there locked and do all the damage you need to it. Also, back to that last donation comment, Bill and Jerry are my parents. So thank you very much for that donation, Mom and Dad.
We all feel the love.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Lots of love in here. Ooh, sure, why not? All right, so this is another deviation from the any percent route. This is going to be a bomb upgrade. Not only is he going to increase the capacity of bombs that I can hold from 8 to 12, but he also refills them, and arguably the latter part of that is more important. Because I need to use, I think it's 5 bombs in this next crypt.
Yeah, in the any percent run, you end up filling up and trying to farm for bombs a lot more than is required in this one. Because, like Vonnie pointed out, when you get that bomb upgrade, you get an automatic refill, so it's much less required.
Also, you said you had 3 donation comments, so if you have one more you'd like to read off, now would be a good time.
I do, actually. I have a $15 donation here from Matt Foley that says, do you know what happens when you get a gold split running Neutopia? Or, I'm sorry, when you don't get a gold split running Neutopia, you end up living in a van down by the river.
Yo, shout outs to my Twitch alerts.
Thank you, Matt. We all needed that.
Yeah.
And that money goes to your choice, Vonnie Von's
Alrighty.
choice.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we did just pick up that shield upgrade. So a little behind on the others, but we are going to start picking up shields here. But that is the first one. It doesn't quite fit into the naming convention like the rest of them. This, I think we start with the bronze and then jump from there. But it is... Finally have a shield. Also,
So now this shield will block the blue fireballs that enemies shoot.
yeah, also shout outs to the worst room. There is a hole there in the middle, and they just continuously will pop up and just fill that room. So you want to run through there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught by the creamsicle ghosts.
Creamsicle ghosts are no ghosts.
No.
No good ghosts, I should say. There we go. That was a really fast room, actually. Sometimes those lizard men will just go wherever they feel like. And where I feel like having them go is directly into my fire.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We will be approaching the boss of this crypt pretty soon. It's actually a pretty interesting boss. There's 2 of them, and we're going to use some pretty particular movement manipulation to get them to be, hopefully, where they will be easy to kill quickly.
Yeah, if not, they can kind of fly around, and that's annoying.
And be rather annoying indeed. Oh, shoot. There we go. Okay, cool. Kind of let him fly to the other side, but not a big deal. I mean, it really just wastes a few seconds. I'm in no real danger there.
And it's nice that you can use your shield to block those daggers if you're aimed just right.
Correct.
So.
Yes.
Okay, with that, we are ready to go into the next sphere, into the sea sphere.
This sphere, to me, has some of the best, I think the best sphere music in the game. Would you agree, Scott?
I think we want to let everyone at home hear the song of the next sphere before they decide that.
Yeah. Why don't we let? I tell you what. Why don't we let the viewers decide?
Ooh.
So if you would like to chime in on which music you think is better, obviously you'll want to hear the music in the sky sphere first. Excuse me. But once you do, be sure to let us know what you think.
Also, shout outs to that room. If you do not leave that room and face left immediately, I thought I was soft locked in that room. It kept bouncing me right back in through the door.
So that actually brings up an interesting point about how you take damage. No matter what direction you get hit in, you're always going to bounce backwards from the direction that you're facing. And you actually saw me use it in the room where I got this latest armor upgrade, where I knew I was going to get hit by a fireball, and I immediately turned right so that I could get bounced to the left. But yeah, you can get bounced into stairs and doors, sometimes in an infinite loop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
So we're currently going to pick up the next item on our list, the Falcon Boots. So we do have to clear the enemies on the screen first, but once we do get the boots, we're going to walk noticeably faster. And this is a speed run, so we have got to go fast.
Yes. Shout outs to our favorite Scooty boots. And also the dapper gentleman that gives them to us. I love his hat.
It's got the whole Indiana Jones vibe going.
He
yeah.
kind of does, doesn't he?
I worry about where his boots came from now.
It's okay. As we know,
If
Indiana
these-
Jones took a lot of inspiration from Neutopia.
If
Yeah,
these-
exactly.
Yes.
I sense a reoccurring theme here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We all know that Neutopia is a very influential game, okay?
Yes.
Going across multiple media.
Yes. So one thing that I do want to mention just about this game in general is that it is a game on the TurboGrafx 16, which I know is not one that was very popular here in North America, and as a result, you don't really see a lot of games ever played of it, especially speedrun. So the fact that this is the very first TurboGrafx 16 game to be featured at RPG Limit Break is, and the fact that I get to do that is pretty special. That means a lot to me. It's pretty cool.
And what we just saw Vonnie doing was a save room. So he chose to save and to not quit. So sometimes if you get to a crypt and you're low on health, if you save and then quit back out, you restart the game with full health. So that is definitely something which can be abused. So this is Crypt 6, arguably one of, if not the most difficult dungeon of the game. So the rings that we have been collecting, or the ring we have collected, is specifically for this dungeon and is one of 3 that we're going to be trying to get.
Oh, kitty ghost, please. Play nice for once.
I don't think it's in their contract.
Alrighty, so these are also new enemies to this, to the crypts in this sphere. They can only be damaged by the sword. They are impervious to your fire, so we have to get up close and personal with them, which is typically something I'm not comfortable doing. However, if they pile themselves up like that, and we get a little happy birthday action, we're happy because it goes faster.
Yeah, I like to call those ones armored armadillos. Did you know that Mega Man X also took inspiration?
And if we have a second for a donation here, I have a message
actually,
for it.
hold on just a moment here. We're going to demonstrate the power of the magic ring. All these wizards. Now you see them, and now you don't. What do we see now, Scala?
We see our slug homies. We're going to hope that one of these slugs will drop us another ring so we can use it again in the dungeon. If not, we'll have to try and farm for it later on, but we really hope that it happens in this room. Oh,
It did not.
not.
That's fine. That's fine. Nobody panic.
Panic?
Nobody panic.
Boo.
Alrighty.
So we're going to keep kind of on the lookout for these rings. Chat, we need your help. If you see another ring, we're going to put RPG Yay into chat. So we're going to cheer on any acquisition of these rings. So we need you, chat.
Trust me, the pop from the crowd will be a very great indicator of when that actually happens.
Exactly.
If you just happen to be looking away from your screen for a second.
Yeah, and while many of these enemies can drop rings, it is our slug homies who are the most likely.
Well, the ones that, see, here's the thing. The ones that don't drop rings are just simply slugs. The ones that actually drop the
Yes.
rings, those are the slug
Our
homies.
specific
Yes.
slug homies.
Yes. we
Don't let
wanna
us down.
Alrighty. So when we have to kill slugs that we normally wouldn't be forced to, we refer to this as greed %, and greed is good when it works out. Otherwise, not so much. All right, here's a chance. Yeah! Greed is always. There's a bonus one. Nice.
Now keep in mind we are going to need a third ring, but again, we can only carry one at a time.
Right.
So
So we'll have to
hoping.
try and obtain it. We want to obtain it immediately after using this next one, which will be in 2 screens. This room is terrifying to do without a ring, so the fact that I had one is really good.
Where's another
Oh, come
homie?
on. Come on. Come on. Where you at? Oh, man. Our last chance here. Oh, darn it. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We still got chances. In fact, as soon as we walk out of this room, we'll go ahead and take a few seconds here to try and procure one from these slugs out here.
And you saw Vonnie pick up the strongest armor there. You can tell because it's red. Like
Yes! All right.
Yay!
So that is excellent because that is all the rings we're going to need for this run.
Right.
And we don't actually need that third run in this crypt, but it is one of the best places to get it.
Yeah. We won't need it until Crypt 8, which is in the Sky Sphere. So, but the fact that we already have it is good. Oh,
Rude.
very rude.
Kitty ghost.
So the fireballs and the blue arrow shots that are coming out from these wizards will repel my fire, but we got through it. All right, everyone say hello to Poverty Trinex. This is by far the most lengthy and drawn out fight of the game. What I want to do ideally is see if I can do this here and get those heads moving horizontally so that I can just continue to bounce them off the wall as they try to return to their body. Okay. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and use this.
Yeah, Vonnie does have extra medicine for just such situations.
Yeah. It's almost always necessary on Poverty Trinex because if you want to kill him fast, you want to, you really want to wedge yourself in between the heads and the body. Oh, shoot. And, if it means tanking a little damage to do it a little faster, that's fine. That's what we want to see. Just pin him down here in the corner, and we should be done right about now. There you go. Cool.
Nice.
Also, shout-outs to one of the rudest medallion rooms.
Oh, you thought you were done, huh?
Have some fireballs and slugs. You're welcome.
It's also a dark room.
It is, yeah.
Because we love you.
Alrighty, so at this point we are experiencing a fantastic phenomenon, which is the fact that we now have 12 segments of life, and now, once we have 12 full segments of life, we can throw out what we like to call the good fire.
Our Faraga.
Or Faraga,
Faraga.
yes, that's right, that's right. Also in this section here is probably the biggest detour to pick up a 100% required item, which is going to be the fire shield. Now, the reason why this one is so annoying is because there's a lot of tight quarters here where I'm going to have to move in with enemies, and the potential to take damage is rather high, so we want to not take damage, because if I do, good fire is gone until I regenerate life somehow, whether that be by a cherry or by a potion or whatever. So we want to make sure that we roast everything in our path. Oh, dang it. So that we don't have to deal with that. That's hopefully it won't be too big a problem. Oh, shoot. No, go away. I'm just going to kill him. Or not. There we go.
Dodged it.
All right, so fire shield get. This will allow us to now block the red fireballs that enemies shoot out.
And unlike the naming convention, it is red, but it is not the strongest.
No. The strongest shield looks fabulous.
It really does.
You will know it is the strongest shield when you see it.
Also, pointing out a shout out to those soot sprites. Miyazaki also really took a huge inspiration.
All right.
As we complete the walk, I think we had a donation that we were.
Oh, yes. Please go ahead with that.
I've actually got a bunch of them here.
Oh,
I don't know
boy.
how many I have time for, but just cut me off whenever I run out of time.
Sounds good to me.
I have Rhythm Song 99 with a $50 donation. As one of the 27 people here in North America that grew up with a TurboGrafx 16, I have to show some support for people who run its games. Great run for Vonnie. Keep it up.
Thank you.
I have a $25 donation here from Eldonia
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with a message, sad I'm missing this event and this run. Please tell Vonnie I miss him so much it hurts.
Oh, my
Heck yeah,
goodness.
Neutopia.
Oh my goodness, I miss you too. You have no idea.
I also have a $25 donation here from Sonny Wrath
That's the one.
Yes.
11125. And the message on that one, C-Sphere music is best music. Get that casual world record, Vonnie. Donation goes to Vonnie's Choice.
Very good. Thank you, Sonny. Keep going if you got him.
I still have more. I have a $25 donation here from Darkness. But did Neutopia inspire Barkley?
Shout outs to my boy Rivers McCown.
Did it inspire Barkley, Shut Up, or Jam Gaiden?
Oh, absolutely. It was instrumental to Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
And then here's a very, very poignant one. $10 donation from Smapdy. Not familiar with Neutopia, so when I saw the name on the schedule, I assumed it was one of those waifu simulator games. No doubt they took inspiration as well. Quite happy to be wrong.
Yeah. Limit Break is definitely known for its waifu simulators in its marathon.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Smapedy.
Yeah. Thank you for the donation.
Do we still have time for more?
Go for it.
Okay, I've got a $5 donation here from Glitter Bay.
Oh, yes, Glitter!
Love seeing all our friends while watching from home. See you at RPG Limit Break 2020. Go, Vonnie, go.
Heck
Love Glitter
yeah.
Bay and Millie.
All right.
And then I also have here a $50 donation from Penguin 8R,
Oh, yes. My bird.
or probably the Penguinator. Good luck to Vonnie and shout out to all the Slug homies.
Yeah. That's a shout out I can get behind. Thank you, Penguin. All right, so this is the only room in the game where we are forced to fight 8 enemies at once. So this gets really hectic. That's all right. I've already taken damage, so the good fire was a thing of the past. So taking damage here is not that big. Oh, that was an hourglass. I probably should have got that. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh, I'll take that, though. So darn it. This is another detour to pick up a hundo item. This is the
Silver Sword.
Silver Sword. Sorry, blank for a second there.
Like I said, you can tell by its beautiful color.
Yes, it's glowing purple sheen. Bonus ring.
Always nice to see.
Rather see too many rings than not enough.
Exactly.
Want to keep seeing those slug homies delivering.
All right, so now we have our key. So now we're going to make our way to the boss of this crypt, and we're all going to need your help here in the crowd to get this boss to hopefully cooperate, and I will let my couch lead the charge on that.
Yeah, as we enter the boss room, we're going to want to start chanting right.
Yes.
Because that's the direction we want this boss to go in for our quick kill.
Alrighty. So I'm going to pop a potion here to get myself to full because I'm going to need the good fire. Alrighty. Here's our crab boss now. We want him to go right, so right.
Right.
So that means this boss can no longer be one cycled,
Yeah.
but it's still not going to take very long with Firaga there.
There we go.
Got it.
Alright.
Made a quick crab bake of that enemy crab.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Shout outs to the crab bake.
Yeah. Poor
Oh
Bubble.
my goodness, and shout outs to you getting in that fire. Thank you. I need him to die before I can push that block. Alrighty, so that is it for the Sea Sphere. 6 medallions down, only 2 to go.
And now you get to truly hear the Sky Sphere music, so you can tell us which is your favorite.
Indeed.
Which is the winner today? To be fair, all of the music is fabulous.
The soundtrack in this game is sneaky phenomenal.
Yeah, but just listen to that amazing bass line. And don't tell me that this is not like the best music in the game. Other than one exception, but we'll get to that when we get to
One
it.
exception I think we can all agree on.
also,
also-
say hi to Grimer.
Yes. And also the grasshoppers with their beautifully shaven legs. They look so smooth. And
Look at them. They're so happy.
Yes, and we have the wonderful fly guys there who very clearly inspired Baxter Stockman of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And you can just see how having the strongest fire is just like absolutely decimating these enemies. It makes a lot of these walks so much easier.
Yeah, sometimes both the second level and third level fires are slower than the first level, so it doesn't feel as good, but it's so much more powerful. Also, welcome to the best stairs ever.
Yeah, the ones that just sent you hurtling into the sky in a spiral fashion.
Yeah.
That's how stairs work.
Getting those in my house.
Absolutely how stairs work. Much better than taking the elevator for sure.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take a little pit stop here to get a couple more potions, which is all we'll need for the rest of the game. The treasure chest on the left is a bomb refill. I've got 12. That'll be plenty to last me through. So
And as it's only a refill and not an actual increase, it's not included in the 100% category.
right, and neither are potions for that matter. But get out of my way,
Come on, Goat Wizard.
Goat Wizard, please.
Can I?
Another donation or two. This would probably be a good time.
Absolutely. I have a $25 donation here from the Northern Yeti.
Oh, nice.
Awesome runner and amazing couch. Keep up the good work. I also have a $20 donation here from Warfan51. Shout out to BBQIS and Sureem for introducing me to the Earthbound community.
Alrighty, so what we're going to do here is we're going to pop into this save point. But unlike what we did before, we are going to save and reset our game. And the reason why we do this, it takes about, I don't know, what was that, 7 to 8 seconds or so, is it refills my health. And we are going to want the good fire for the first half of this next script, because there's a lot of tricky rooms in here that would be otherwise rather complicated if I didn't have it.
Yeah, this is Crypt 8,
yeah, there
which
we
is the last crypt. And what's the official name of this crypt, Scala?
Okay, well, you're talking about the very, very last.
Oh, the very last.
script.
Okay.
We'll get to
Okay.
get to that in just a second.
So close.
So close.
I do have one really quick donation that just came in here from Myra. It's a $250 donation that says,
Aw.
even this donation was inspired by Neutopia.
Yes!
Thank you very much for your donation.
Do I still have it? Oh, I still have it. Okay, good. Oh my God, please. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
We call those jerkbird ghosts.
Yes.
They are the ghosts of every jerkbird you have ever killed in an RPG.
Oops, no, I didn't mean to throw that down. You know, I'm going to light this up just for the fun of it.
Oh, hey, a light room.
Hey!
Who knew?
We actually used the moonbeam boss. Oh, how beautiful.
All right, this is the room where it's really nice to have that good fire, because these things sometimes just come screaming right at you from left to right, and if you can just make them all burn in your wall of fire, then we enjoy it. All right, so what's coming up here is an item that's going to really kind of break the rest of this game considerably. This is the Bell of the Sky, and what it does, and I'm actually going to put it to use right away here in this next room. Any room that normally requires you to either push a block and or kill all of the enemies in there to open a door, instead, you just do a little ring-a-ding-ding of the bell, and it'll go ahead and open for you anyway. So all these enemies, yeah, no thanks. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, that item is the main reason we do Crypt 8 first in this sphere. We're
No
going to
question.
use it on the way to Crypt 7 in order to get some very good gear.
Just did that for the heck of it, so we didn't try to fly in and be the jerk we knew he probably was going to be.
It's a jerk bird.
It's the jerk bird.
They know what they do.
They know no better. They know no different.
So pretty.
We could probably do another donation or two here.
Of course, I have a $25 donation here from Camelius. Vonnie Vaughn running Neutopia on my birthday with all those folks that I lurk in their stream chats. What is this madness? Money goes to Vonnie's choice.
Thank you, Cam.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, too, yeah. Oh, get up there.
I also have a $20 donation here from Margaret Ann.
Oh, Margie.
That says, did you know that Neutopia inspired Limit Break itself?
It all comes full circle.
So instead of puns this time, we get inspiration jokes.
Speaking of inspiration, did you know Papyrus there actually inspired Undertale?
And speaking of Barkley, Chaos dunked that world record. We love you, Vonnie, and congrats on getting this into Limit Break. That comes from Velociraptor 42 and Storm with a $25 donation. As well, we have a $10 donation here from Zaru. Good luck to Vonnie. Shout-outs to the couch and the couch crew backing up the couch. Donation goes to Vonnie's choice.
There's our last use of the ring right there. Thank you for that donation, too. And now we can easily assault these enemies here right before the boss.
Yeah, this is actually going to be legit serious time for this boss.
Yeah. We were mostly kidding for the last one, but this one is actually serious time.
Yeah, there's a very particular quick kill that I need to get, otherwise I'm going to be in really bad shape.
Beautiful.
Now I can exhale. Yeah, if you do not do that quick kill, he soars all around the room. The shield closes the puma head around him, which is a fabulous way to travel, wouldn't you say, Scarlett?
Absolutely. I could not think of any better way to travel around.
And the thing that makes that boss the most problematic is he has a ton of hit points. So killing him it's just such a slog that, I mean, he's going to wear you down. And that's why I saved before that, is because if I don't get that quick kill, like coin flips chance, that's a reset.
Yeah, that actually was the evil wizard Durf there, making a little cameo appearance before the end of the game. Because, again, that was supposed to be Crypt 8. So now we have we have sent him off to the climatic castle where he is ensconced, waiting for us. But we're going to go do this whole other crypt first and, like, get some extra gear. He can wait, right? The princess can wait, right?
Yeah. He might be building up for the climax, but we don't care. We got gear to get.
I mean, we learned in Dragon Warrior Randomizer, you don't have to go rescue the princess, right?
Yeah, exactly. She's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's cool. She's just chilling.
If you have some more donations, this would be a good time.
Absolutely. I actually have a follow-up here from Darkness with another $25 donation saying, so everything we've seen and heard for the last 40 minutes or so is officially canon.
Yes.
You heard it here first, folks.
Alrighty, so a couple things we're going to grab down here. The first is going to be a slight deviation from any percent. This is going to be to pick up a life upgrade. By the time we are done with all of the crypts, all our life segment will be completely full, and that satisfies that requirement.
Also, shoutouts to all the wonderful laughs that are in this game. If you can read Japanese, I love that
Yeah.
there.
Alrighty, now what we're picking up here is considerably more important. First thing we need to do is to chime our bell, make the staircase appear, go spiraling into the sky, because of course, and then it takes us to this island here where we will pick up the strongest sword. Hold it up for everyone to see, Jada.
Yes. Again, you can tell it's the strongest because it's red.
Naturally.
I'm so sad the shields just don't follow the color scheme. They're like, yeah, you can do what you want. We've got our own plan.
You have to have some contrast
Yeah.
there. It's good sprite work.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that, Scala, because that's one of the things that really endeared me to this game was the just the whole look of it, the aesthetic of this whole game is just. It's very charming. That's the way I always describe it when I'm on my stream and talking about it. That it's just fun to see,
And there's a lot of fun little small things. I love Jazeta's heavy-set eyebrows. that
Yeah,
are-
and the scowl that he's rocking like the entire time he's going through here.
Heroing's hard work. But you can definitely tell that, you know, very much in the line of the shonen heroes of the time, also inspired by Neutopia. So things like Saint Seiya and Ronin Warriors, totally inspired by Neutopia.
That's right. We claimed an entire genre.
Darn it. Didn't feel like taking that
I mean,
damage.
weren't Dungeon
All right.
Crawlers inspired by Neutopia?
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Go away. Do I have good fire still? No.
Oh,
Darn it.
no.
That's all right. That's just going to make this a little bit longer. Not too problematic, though.
So now we're on to Crypt 7. Because again, we have to kind of go back around.
But it is going to be our last full crypt of the run.
Correct.
So we are nearing the end.
But since we have the bell, because we did Crypts out of order, we can just sort of scoot our way through a lot of these rooms.
Yep.
Shoutouts to the bell.
Oh, no. All right, now if I had the good fire, I could just mow through this rather quickly. But everybody's just going to come down and line up, so that shouldn't make this too bad. There we go. Nice. All right. If you'd like to read off another donation or two, please go ahead.
Absolutely. dshmoo619 came in with a $50 donation that says, thanks to all the runners, commentators, couch, crew, tech crew, streamers, moderators, and all others involved in putting on a world-class event for a great cause.
Indeed. Alrighty, so we are going to go into this room here. And this is something that I've been doing in particular every time I go through this room, is I ring the bell right here so we can see that lovely rainbow bridge.
Yay!
One more detour in here. We're going to go get our final shield upgrade.
And shout outs to all the poor little blobbies who can't do anything but just kind of wiggle at us.
Yeah,
They're
they
just
watch.
waving. They're just cheering us on.
Yeah.
Go Zeta.
Look at that shield.
So good. The horns, best part.
So strong.
Well, nothing shows strong than, you know, a set of horns on your shield.
Right. Alrighty. Oh, come on. There we go. Thank you. Alrighty. Alright, so now the bell gets to go on its last hurrah. We get one ring of it here, a second ring of it here, and one more for good measure.
Like, seriously, who needs the any key when you've got that?
Right,
Like,
exactly. Alright, so don't blink when I fight this boss, because doing so is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Strongest sword hype.
Yes. The importance of the strongest sword is on full display there. Alrighty, so now that is our 8th medallion. You're going to see the door behind the old mother here open up, and that is going to open the way to Dirt's evil lair on the North Pole. But we're not ready to go there quite yet. We have one more thing that we need to collect due to all of your wonderful generosity in upgrading this run to the 100% route. And this doesn't take too long. But this also is going to demonstrate an item that I've been picking up plenty of times along the way, but we'll use only at the very end here. And those are those wings that you saw enemies dropping. Then the bottom left of my inventory that I've selected now. What those do is they return you back to the temple. So what we're doing here is we're picking up a bomb upgrade. I'm now going to have 20 bombs that I can carry, which is great because I will be using exactly 0 for the rest of the run. Alrighty, so here we go. time to fight Dearth. I will ask for serious time, but also it will give you an opportunity to appreciate the best music in the game. Darn it. No, more darn it. There we go. There it is. Alrighty. So time is not going to be quite yet. There's going to be a cutscene once we go back to the temple, and then once the screen finally fades to black, that will be when time will be, and I will be sure to call it out.
Yeah, to quickly explain that, boss, it does take 32 hits. You can get a maximum of 8 hits when he's up, 7 when he's down. And if you move left to right at all, you will throw off the pattern and he won't necessarily appear in the middle. So, very
Alrighty,
important.
it's coming up very soon. Get ready, and time. Oh. What was my time?
55:21.
Alrighty. That's cool. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I got to showcase this game here in front of all of you watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you appreciated it. And if you have any interest in getting into running it at all or want to learn more about it, by all means, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to bring more people into the fold when it comes to speed running this game. So a couple things real quick. Shout outs to my couch here, to Nitsky1, Scala Kitty, and Natara. I really appreciate you all accompanying me on this journey here. Shout outs to Retro Gaming Live TV, my buddies that have helped me along the way. There's several of them here. I love all y'all. You are the greatest. Shout outs to the Comfy Couch Lounge, the NSFW crew. Y'all know who you are. And yeah, and shout outs to everybody here. I could feel the love, the applause, everything like that. It gives me strength. Alrighty. Well, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for having me. Again, I am Vonnie Von, and until next time, take care, folks.
All right, one more big thank you to Vonnie Von for that awesome run of Neutopia. We did have one more donation roll in here, kind of right here at the end, from Tifa's Revenge 107, a very late donation at $13.37. Congratulations on getting this into RPG Limit Break, by the way. That crab boss we wanted to go right is probably screaming, "Youch, seafood soup." All right, guys, as we're getting ready for the next step here of the event, we have a couple donations here lingering from older runs that I wanted to get through. We have a $25 donation here from Ephraim and Jen Elric 156. Keep up the great work, Daniel. You're crushing this. We also have a $20 donation here from Gabri C. Absolute props to Daniel RGT for that incredible diagnosis and recovery on the fly. That was truly impressive and commendable. Thank you all, RPG Limit Break staff and attendants, for their hard work and contributions, especially in supporting Nami. Good luck to all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am getting the thumbs up that we are ready to shoot it over to my friend Bowie the Hero for a quick interview. So, Bowie, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you very much indeed. I know it is indeed me, Bowie. I know I haven't got a bandana on, so I apologize. Yes, this is my forehead. I do have one. I'm joined by the very, very lovely mikwuyma, who's going to be opening up our Wacky Block very momentarily with Super Highlight. Now, when I found out this game was going to be in the Wacky Block, I was like, excuse me? I love this game. I used to play this game when I was a kid. I always thought it was brilliant, and then I found out that it's a silly game. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about Super Highlight and what really makes it a bit, well, I guess, wacky and why it's going to open this session for us?
Well, it's hard to begin, but I say it's my favorite 12-bit RPG game because it's not an 8-bit game, but it certainly doesn't look like a 16-bit game. So it's right in between at the 12-bit range.
Right.
It actually has really great music. It has a really good soundtrack. And it just is so weird and obtuse, and nothing you do makes sense.
Right, sure.
There's like the story is almost non-existent. It's very basic, and you're just and when you're playing casually, you're just fumbling around talking to NPCs, and it's kind of cryptic. Not only because just naturally cryptic, but it's also not terribly well translated. So you're just trying to figure out, what the heck is going on, and where's the next trigger to go to the next dungeon and everything. And it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So, and also it's a very exciting run because first off, you can set the speed, and there's a fastest speed setting, which makes Sonic jealous.
Sure.
And you can. And it's very easy to die. Like, there's never a safe moment in the run. There's never downtime. Even the grinding is very exciting in the game.
Sure.
So it's just this, combination of factors, like the nonsensicality, the weird janky look, the kind of lack of animation. Unlike Virtual Highlight, it does run at 60 frames per second, but you'll have
pretty impressive for a highlight.
Exactly. But you'll have trouble telling because there's only 2 to 3 frames of animation on every character and enemy, so it might be a little hard to tell.
I guess if there's
I do want to bring up one thing, though. When we were talking about this game, one of the reasons why you said it was great, I don't think you really specified why it was great. All that you said is that it was better than Final Fantasy VI, which even if true, which it is not.
I'm a contrarian. Calm down, all right?
What about this game makes it so great?
I don't know. I was a kid. I was a 5-year-old, all right? Everything back then was brilliant for me.
Okay, fair
enough, okay?
Fair. I've never seen you so vulnerable in your life. Usually, you have the comeback, the riposte, but now you're just, at your very vulnerable childhood memory.
I mean, as a 29-year-old man looking at that, how can I defend it? It's basically the question I'm trying to say. At least that's my point. Obviously, you're opening up this wonderful block. We're going to have loads and loads of silly games going on, and I guess over the course of your career as a speedrunner, you've played, let's say, for lack of a better word, more silly games. I mean, what is it about the games that kind of have a bit more of a jovial, light-hearted nature that really make them kind of intriguing for you as a competitive speed game?
Competitive?
I guess you can always open up with that. I mean, maybe they're not competitive for you.
Oh yeah. They have an appeal to me because, these are very flawed games. They're not necessarily even bad games, but they're flawed games with very obvious flaws that you can kind of poke fun of, and that it makes it easier to kind of have a lighthearted, fun run. You don't have to be super serious, but you don't have to be like, oh no, I lost 30 frames here. You can be like,
I lost 30 frames.
Yeah, you can be, I lost 30 frames, whatever. Or you can be, you can use the good old speedrunner excuse. That was bad RNG, and in that game, it might actually be true.
Of course. and then I've always seen whenever I've seen it. I mean, it's about that sense of humor and how you can just kind of enjoy your games.
Yeah,
because I think as speedrunners we tend to get a little bit serious every now and then. It's
I
nice
remember a tweet about a year ago that was like, the runners of the good games, the serious games, they're like, but this run's so bad. I hate this game. It's it's terrible. There's so much RNG. And then the bad ones, well, this game isn't perfect, but it has a certain charm to it. It's not as bad as everyone says.
You got to find the silver linings, really, haven't you? Sometimes. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually one of your first kind of like RPG style games as well.
Yes.
So I mean, obviously you've played a whole bunch of games, but why? I guess again, what is it about Super Highlight that made you want to suddenly jump into the RPG genre and bring it to a place like Limit Break?
Well, as all good ideas start, it started with Brossentia, and it by sheer coincidence, we both wanted to run Super Highlight for RPG Limit Break, and and Brossentia was playing it on stream. Then I was like, hey, I want to run this game for RPG Limit Break. He's like, hey, I want to run it too. Right. Let's both try to run it for RPG Limit Break. And the reason why we wanted to run it is because we don't think it's a good game, but we both really like it. Like, it's a very fun game.
Yeah,
it has this like weird, bizarre, janky charm that's really hard to describe until you look at the game.
I assume that Brossentia is going to be on the couch with you to support you.
Yeah, he's the other runner of the game, and he actually provided our second grinding spot, which is the best grinding spot for experience in the run.
The strategies in a game like this.
Exactly. There are strategies, even bad games. They must be conquered somehow.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I think that's actually kind of interesting, just as an aside, how they may be silly games and they may be a bit of fun, but they do still have legitimate strategizing and skill needed to execute them to a high level as well. Okay, I guess like last quick question before we kind of jump forward and kind of get you ready for your run. Obviously, you've been involved with GDQ over the many years, and you've been attending RPGLB for a few years as well. Obviously, finally this is your first time running at Limit Break. Kind of with your kind of like wider perspective and being involved in many communities, what kind of like draws you to Limit Break specifically as a community and as an event?
I think as an event, it's great because, at GDQ, just to be perfectly honest, RPGs are a longer genre, and it's harder to take risks on RPGs. They need to have incentives. They need to be very, popular and have a lot of nostalgia or very well liked. And whereas Limit Break, it really gives the freedom for the RPG community to shine, either with maybe a more experimental category on a popular game, or even just games that wouldn't really normally get into a GDQ.
For sure, yeah.
And just the cause of Nami is a great one. As someone who's suffered through anxiety and depression, it's definitely something that we need to talk about on more honest terms, especially here in America. So.
Of course, well, that's very, very candid of you to say so. Thank you very much. We obviously do have to move on. We don't want to hold you up too much from shining on our main stage. But obviously, we do have before we do jump forward, we have a wonderful bunch of prizes that are available. These all opened up during the Earthbound run and will be available to donate toward up until the end of Lunar Dragon Song being run by High Spirit. They believe closing the block, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is correct.
So all of these things are kind of like separate. First of all, we've got the big Earthbound prize pack of the stickers, this booklet here, some wonderful figurines and plushies. And for a $40 donation up until the end of Lunar Dragon Song, you can be entered into the pool for that. Crikey, what else have we got? We've got the passport to Mother 2 down there as well, which I believe is for $5 donation. This is from the Legend of, I think it's part of the Legend of localization thing as well, which is a big booklet over there about Mother 2 and Earthbound and that localization. And then a couple of Perla sets with Mr. Saturn and Ness right there, which is I think another $5 donation as well. That was donated by Red Silver, so thank you very much indeed. And also we've got the Mr. Saturn Prisoner plush, which is a thing that exists. Yeah. What do you think about that? Again, $5 donation, and that's from Crazy Sunshine as well. So wonderful Earthbound prizes. If you're a fan of Earthbound, now's the time to get your donation in to win one of these wonderful prizes. With that in mind, Mike, I think it's time for you to take the stage and wow us with Super Highlight. Are you excited?
Yeah, and for once, it's not a joke! And you'll find out the significance of that during my run.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much indeed for talking to me, Mike. Best of luck on your run. I'll throw it back to the host, and we will prepare for the beginning of the Wacky Block at RPGLB 2019. Don't go anywhere.
All right, thank you very much, Bowie. And with that, we're going to go ahead and continue our preparations for the speedrun of Super Hydelid? Hydelide, thank you. I've gone and embarrassed myself. We will go ahead and take a quick break while we get ready, and we will be right back as soon as the runs are about to begin. All right, once again, we are almost ready here, but just a few reminders. I am your host, Bhesh4, and RPG Limit Break 2019 is being hosted right here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and it is going to support NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, advocacy. What does that mean? All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are ready to go ahead and send